once again, thank you very much to being here. So my name is Krishna, the son of the founder. Yeah, so this is our family farm. So my grandparents usually live here. Yeah, so they are making coconut oil here. So the coconut oil using for massage, and then our like a lotion, and then sometimes we use for our hair, and yeah, our for cooking also. And then because we using lot of coconut meat, the oldest coconut meat, so the coconut shell over there, the hanging coconut shell is the beehive. So we produce some honey also.
Beehives, alright.
Yeah, so the type of the bees is a black bees. So it's like a stainless bees. So they didn't sting.
We
Yeah.
saw them in Borneo.
Oh,
The
nice.
stingless bees.
Yeah, stingless.
Yeah.
And do you had the taste?
The honey,
before?
yes. Bitter.
Bitter? Yeah. But in here is a sour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we using the honey as a medicine when we have a cough, fever, or scratching. Yeah, so it's a good for the antiseptic. Alright, so before we start the activities, so I will inviting you to enjoy some hot drink like a coffee or tea, and we have a bioluminescent cake also for make your reboost your energy, because later we're gonna walk through the habitat fireflies, and then we're gonna pick some vegetables, and we can try some leaf. Yeah, and then we're gonna have a live cooking, and then we're gonna and see the firefly. Okay,
Good.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, anybody need?
So,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Okay. Okay, so the handsome gentleman who was with me, who was my son, he's actually my son. And we are expecting a baby soon. So I'm very soon gonna be a very happy, proud granddad. So this is Krishna, my first son.
Hi.
And his little brother is Rama, and I also have a 4-year-old Arjuna. So this is our family farm. So when I was little, my parents used to take me here a lot. And at that time, we didn't have electricity. So that is when I remember spending a lot of time collecting the fireflies and use them as light.
Oh, wow.
Yang ini lagi kopi ya. And 40 years later, in 2018, I don't see fireflies as much as before. And that's where the journey of bringing back the lights of the fireflies begins. My experience with the fireflies was so special. As it is so special, it did stay with me for a very long time, and later it's become a crystal, and it's become a purpose of my life. So this is what I'm doing now full time. And yeah, so that inspired from my childhood memories. And then just to imagine that my children growing up and not seeing the fireflies is actually kind of make me sad. So in 2000, so I started in 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, no result. Because I didn't have scientific background. Like many Balinese, I work in hotels and restaurants. So I quit that job and then do this full time. So in 2023, I decided to hire full-time biologists to help me understand about insects, to help me to understand about fireflies. Unfortunately, research about fireflies in Indonesia is very limited, and that is my first obstacle actually to understand about the fireflies. So 2023, we started a journey with the fireflies research, where we experiment, where we do a lot of trial and error, because we still using international journal, especially the US and the Australian. So we follow Dr. Shara Lewis, who wrote Silent Spark, who wrote a very extensive research about the fireflies in the US, and then Dr. Leslie Ballantyne, known as Australian fireflies expert. But both of the reference is referring subtropical fireflies, which is the opposite to our fireflies, which is tropical fireflies. And that is our first loss in understanding the fireflies. So then, with the team of my biology team, then we understand that the terrestrial fireflies or the land-based fireflies to the semi-aquatic fireflies or the water-based fireflies, again, is another two sets of different behavior. The terrestrial is cannibal, eat each other. So we treat them like the semi-aquatic. So I mean, that's how the journey began. So it's all inspired by my childhood, and then just to imagine that the future generation not seeing the fireflies will also kind of make me sad and motivate me to get into this journey. And then many journals stating that we could be the last generation and seeing the fireflies. And I'm not okay with that. And then later, I learned also that the problem to the fireflies challenges is the climate change, of course, with the global warming. The habitat loss, as we, the local, know how much rice fields are converted every year to housing, building, hotels, resorts, and facilities. And it comes with light. So the artificial light at night now has become the problem for the fireflies because it interferes their communication system. They are using their glowy, beautiful glow as their communication system to mate each other. And so with too much external light, they cannot express their feelings, their love. So like any relationship in the world, right? Communication is the key. So when with artificial light at night, it's disturbing their communication system. So that's why I decided to just close my camp. It used to be a campground where I facilitate local students to create a nature-based program because I didn't want to create artificial light at night. I didn't want to create a light pollution. So that's our new journey in a scientific journey of the fireflies. But as a Balinese, honestly, I'm very much inspired from the local culture, local values when we talk about the fireflies. It's because it's closely related to our ancestor spirits. Because when we see a firefly, it's a sign that our ancestor spirit is come down and seeing us, protecting us. Fireflies is also considered to be a nail of a dead person, which is basically talk about karma. So fireflies is a reminder that we humans die, and when we die, we leave nothing in this world but our nails, and they grow, become a fireflies. But it's just a symbolic of karma. So before we die, we ought to do good thing in life, called good karma, right? And then the fireflies, what also deeply inspired me because we see fireflies as the guide of the soul. Now, how we address God in Bali, we say Dewa. Dewa comes from the Sanskrit word mean div. It means light. So the light of the fireflies is strongly related to the spiritual light because eventually this very spiritual light of a fireflies symbolized as damar kurung or a lantern. So when we are cremated, we will lit a lantern made of a half of a coconut filled with coconut oils, then put a cotton on it. It's symbolizing a light for our soul called Atman, reunite with our creator, Brahman. Our Atman or the soul is said to get lost because it's still attached to the material world, to the loved one, to the family, to the position, to the Ferrari if you still have one. I mean, so that is when the light of a firefly is in a symbol of a lantern guiding our Atman that our time is over here, now it's time to reunite with Brahman. And that is the significance of a fireflies in Bali. So as a young boy who lived in this wilderness of nature, now I still have the opportunity to maintain the last population that we still have here through breeding and rearing process and then release them into the nature. So far, in 6 years' time, we have released 5,542 fireflies into the nature. Wow. And it's still a little. compared to a critical mass that we want to achieve, because there is a certain amount theoretically or scientifically. If you have that amount, because our fireflies is tropical fireflies, they are available all year round, and if you have that amount, it means they will have a self-sustained ecosystem. But there is only one side of our work, which is from the breeding and rearing process. The other most important work that we are now conducting is to create a pesticide-free zone, because the use of synthetic chemical, especially the pesticide, not only killing them instantly when they are in contact with fireflies, but they are actually killing the ecosystem that lives underground, in the water, in the soil, which is the macro habitats, which is the food of the fireflies. Later, our team will also take you into the journey of a life cycle of a fireflies. It's a long journey. So the adult fireflies that we all adore, that we all respect, called imago, or the adult, lives only 22 days. It's a very short period of time. So they live less than a month. But it takes them 1.5 to 2 years for them to get there, especially on the larval stage. So our team will explain to you later on how this journey are very, very challenging, and then their ecosystem, their environment doesn't support each of these life cycle. So that's why I leave my hospitality job, so that I can fully commit it and continue doing our research, continue educating our local farmers to stop using the chemical and substitute them with the organic materials. So we provide all the organic materials that the farmers need in order to be able to do a regenerative farming, just like we did before we invented all these synthetic chemicals. So the fireflies giving me new hopes now, that not only me as a parent making sure that my children see the fireflies, but it's a privilege that I have the opportunity to setting up an environment where the air quality is clean, where the water is not contaminated, and the soil is healthy. When that happens, the fireflies populations will be thriving. And as a parent, and that's the type of environment I want them to live. And I thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to be here this evening here with us and being part of this saving force for the fireflies. So this is not 100% tourist experience. Some part of it, yes, but most part of it, everyone here is receiving the calling like I do, being part of this project, and I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the journey hasn't started. Familiarize yourself with the area, with the environment, because we're gonna do the same walk, but without lights. Yeah. It used to be a camp, Maria. Jadi ini tempat kita camping. Kita suka ngajak anak-anak untuk camping di alam. Biasanya kita participate mereka untuk tempat tidurnya di dalamnya atau kasur atau yeah. So now we close the camp because we don't want to create artificial light at night. Yeah. So we allocate only for researching students. We also receive intern students. Yeah. We don't really open for public.
How many researchers and interns do you have?
Now we have a total full-time researcher with us. Yep, in 3 different locations. Yep. So this is the main area, but we also have 2 other areas where we also preserve their natural habitat. Okay, we will go this side, please. This man just said. You can also hear, also no problem. Yeah. Of the fireflies, they look like a caviar, but a yellow color. And they are becoming the hunt of all the predators. So this is the eggs of the fireflies, ma'am. So the female fireflies, for the semi-aquatic fireflies, will lay their eggs under this plant. We call it kapu-kapu. Apa bahasa? Aquatic plants. So they will normally lay the eggs underneath. The big problem in Bali is this plant is considered weeds. So guess what they do before they start planting? Herbicide. So they don't only kill the weed, which is basically a fertilizer, but they're also killing the ecosystem entirely. So that's why the regenerative farming is very important, to make sure the chemical doesn't contaminate them. So this is the most sensitive stage. After they hatch, and then they will become the larvae. So this is the larvae of the fireflies, semi-aquatic. It looks like shrimp. They're actually alive. So this is the most critical part of the fireflies, this stage, because number one, this is the longest stage. This is the one that can take up to 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And then this is the only time they eat, because when they're adult, they no longer eat. So this is the only time they eat, to grow, to molt, to shed their skin like snake, and then to preserve energy for metamorphosis, and then preserve energy for mating when they're adult. So they are like saving all the foods and energy for the next stage of the fireflies. And this is the biggest challenge for the fireflies, because not just about the foods, even the environment is already wiped out. So most of the environment doesn't really support this stage, because not enough food, not enough nutrition, and scientists believe that's also what drives them into cannibal behavior, because there is not enough food, so we just eat our friend. You know, that's the only food available for the fireflies. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the inspiration of the fireflies. And so they molt between 5 to 7 times. So they shed their skin several times before they are entering into the next stage. So now Nita will be showing the other type of fireflies, which is the terrestrial fireflies, or the land-based fireflies. The female, we notice, so this is the egg, and they are spread out. It's very different from the semi-aquatic, because the terrestrial is the one that performs cannibalism. So from the very beginning, the mother or the female fireflies, they already start laying their eggs separately, because they don't want to see their brother and sister. Otherwise, they're gonna eat each other. So that's what we learned, both from the journal and also from our live experiment. And these terrestrial fireflies will then, this egg will be hatching into a larvae. Now be prepared to see something that is quite shocking in a way, because they look super scary. Yeah. So so they create the skin. So the skin serves as a shield. So on the skin there is a very fine thorn, very fine vines that is actually protect them from predators. So at this stage they already can move, they already can hide, and they already have a protection. They already have a defense system, but not the egg. And then their biggest challenge is, of course, the ecosystem, where it contains foods and nutrition for them to grow, and they are very corrective. Our success, to be honest, is very much figuring out what kind of food that we can introduce. So right now we feed them with spaghetti, no, not spaghetti, with earthworm. So we introduce earthworm. We introduce larvae of the mosquito, and we also introduce eggs of the snails, and they also even eat the snail itself. So we learn that they are carnivore, so they basically eat other animals. We try not their kinds, but so that is why fireflies is also apart from bioindicator, they are also actually bio pest control, because they eat certain animals that becoming pests for our farm, including the kutu air, apa kutu air? Water fleas, including the water fleas. So yeah, I mean, not to mention the microscopic microorganisms that lives both in the water and the soil. So I mean, that's our success now is for introductions of food. But we are focusing on creating their natural ecosystem where the soil fertility, the soil health, the water contamination is protected, so that the biodiversity both in the water and the soil can be thriving. So hopefully this guy have enough food and not making their friend as a choice, as a first choice. Yeah? Itu lagi makan ya kak? Oh enggak. So they don't chew, they use their claws actually to inject a venom to their prey, like the snails, and paralyze the snails, and then they eat them. So they slurp. Okay. So after this stage, I know it's super scary. After this stage, they will be entering into a cocoon stage or a pupal stage. I like to call it as a meditative stage. Maybe I'm just gonna spread them around. You can help me show them. So this is actually the pupa or the cocoon of the fireflies. If you notice, there is a little hole where they actually live. Okay, siap. Ini udah bekasi. So their biggest challenge is actually so how do we know that they are entering into this stage is that they will stop eating. So the larvae stop eating, they stop moving, and that's the time we adding soil, where they will then make the food or make the pupa. And this is where the metamorphosis happens. This is the transformation happens from voracious eating into you know, full of reflection. And this is here. So this is all the cocoon. And this is how much fireflies that has already been released this week. Yeah. And that's the larvae of the terrestrial. And here is the larvae of the semi-aquatic. There are thousands of them in here. So yeah, so that is the full life journey of the fireflies. Now we learn how we can improve our research. And now we try to, we aim to work with much bigger farmers to stop using the chemical and creating a regenerative ecosystem. Okay. Okay, I'll wait until everybody is here. Sorry, this is my son playing with the bottle. Just afraid somebody will step to it. Okay, so first of all, I'm still on the experiment to introduce lights into fireflies' natural habitat. So we are working with Warmadewa University, with the electrical engineers, to measure the amount of lights, the intensity, wavelength, color tones, everything about lights that we can introduce in the fireflies' natural habitat. So we would like to balance how much lights we can introduce that the fireflies can tolerate, that's safe for us human to walk in the dark, because our eyes is not designed for that, but our feet are. In Bali we call our ankle mata kaki, so we actually have two eyes in each foot. Kalau orang lokal ngerti ya. Okay, anyway, we're not designed to walk in the dark, but the fireflies does. They are nocturnal, they're only active at night, but we would like to balance. I already received a request for a nearby hotel and resort here to have the guidance of light fitting, because they are located in the natural habitats of the fireflies where their populations are also thriving. So hopefully next time we can use the lights more wisely, more appropriately, where it's safe for us human, and then safe for the fireflies, which doesn't disturb them. So here we create, so this is actually where we, our team select the same species of a fireflies and then place them in the terrarium to harvest the egg. Normally after 2-3 days time, we collect the egg and then release them and then get the fresh one. And then right now we already breeding nature to nature fireflies and nature from lab-born fireflies. So we have 3 types of breeding, which is nature-based, male and female, and then nature and lab-born, and then both from the lab-born. So we seeing the differences is very interesting. But what is unique with our firefly? What is very interesting with our type of fireflies? We have a friendly type of fireflies. The female is much friendlier compared to other fireflies, especially in the subtropical fireflies. What does it mean? One female fireflies okay to share multiple males, and in fact, we also found where we introduce them with multiple males, they're not only happy to mate, but they also prolong their 3 to 4 days lifespan. And then we look to the journal. So during the mating is first of all, the communication is not only to agree, discussing the terms and conditions for mating, but they also discussing the transaction. What the female transfer is not only spermatozoa, but it's a nuptial gift. So what do they transfer? So it's a set of luciferin, which is an enzyme that makes them glow. 2 is ATP, is a source of complex energy in the bioluminescent insect. And then the next generation. So the female fireflies will only agree to mate when they have all these 3. So kayak apa ya? Mas kawin ya kayaknya. So that is actually the behavior that they are the interaction. So that's why it takes a long time for them. So the flashing that everyone about to see is discussing all these terms and conditionings before they press agree. You know, like yeah. So that's what we learned. So that is very promising. That number one, from ethical breeding, we don't have to utilize too much fireflies with one female fireflies, but with multiple male fireflies, we can produce a very productive next generations. So that is probably our next course of research. Is that facilitating this mating environment where is not much artificial lights and then no chemical around, so that they can their populations are thriving. Okay, so we're gonna revisit this honeymoon suite later, but without lights, and then we will show you their natural habitats of the fireflies. Right this way, please. Please mind your step. So this is very even today. Until we find the right tone amount of lights, then we will add in them. Hopefully we can balance. Okay, and this is where everyone will enjoy watching the fireflies tonight. Just mind your step. Amen. So after dinner tonight, we would kindly invite you again back here, where you can spend your evening watching the fireflies after dinner. Okay, and right in front of us here, this is the rice paddy or the rice field, and this is belong to my uncle. My uncle is happy to being part of our Bring Back the Light initiative, where he's happy also not to using chemical or pesticides, but we provide all the materials that my uncle needs. We also support the production costs for my uncles so that they can save their costs and not using chemical. And number 3, we also compensate or subsidize their yield, because the biggest challenge for the farmers with the organic is they afraid to receive less yield. But we know in every transition there is a risk of that happening. So we use a benchmark. We agreed on a benchmark that my uncle normally produce 350 kilograms of grains, and we use that as a benchmark. So when now we organic, if he produce less than that, we pay the difference, and that's the only way we can get them on board. And where do the costs coming from? From you, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why then I created this Bring Back the Lights journey. The Fireflies journey is to improve our research, to continue with the ongoing research, and also to compensate with our local farmers to compensate their good behavior. So we fund our project independently. So we create this ecotourism program as the main source of this program. So I really appreciate everyone for being here and being part again for this journey. But the compensation is only temporary. That's how I see it. As soon as we create the working ecosystem for the fireflies, for the soil and the water, basically they do need much amount of fertilizer, because it will regenerate and it will giving the yield. Because in the 60s, 30s, we don't use any chemical, and we are aiming to get that. So our aim is to create the 2-kilometer radius involving 35 farmers for 27 hectares. Right now we got 4, 31 to go. But I'm very confident that with our improvement in the research, and then also the awareness that is already reached to the right customer that is happy also being part of the support, we can slowly getting more farmers, and then produce not just producing pesticide-free zone, but producing a healthy environment for them, for their health, for the environment health, for the biodiversity, and then also for the fireflies. So that's the long-term plan. So later tonight, if you see on the far right hand side, so that's a dry land, so that is the terrestrial fireflies, and this one over here is the rice field. This is the semi-aquatic fireflies. If you see a couple of animals over there, they are not fireflies. Actually Bali cow, yeah. So just want to make certain, especially for those of you who have never seen fireflies. All right. And she's the one that prepared that little pancake. So if you don't like them, that's the one that she made. But if you like them, that's the one that I make. Okay. And this is Wayan, my sister-in-law, my brother's wife. Yeah, my wife also sometimes here to help, but he's taking care of the little boy. So we would like to start our dinner with the soup. Okay, we will. Add the moringa. Yeah, I think everyone familiar with this superfood. So moringa oleifera, known as superfood, because it's fully loaded with nutrition. So it has good health benefits, and they also have a very useful ecological benefits, because they absorb 20 times more carbon dioxide than the regular plants, and they have a very specific roots where it's grow like a sponge, so it absorbs the water during the rainy season and releases during the dry season. And yeah, so just very useful. So we will combine them with the yellow coconut. In Bali, we believe that the yellow coconut has a purification benefits. So when we do the spiritual cleansing for our soul, our body, and our mind, we don't just use any coconut, but the yellow coconut. So we're gonna combine the freshness of the moringa leaf with the spiritual elements of the yellow coconut. Another word to say, we couldn't afford to buy a good soup bowl, so we're just gonna use it. Okay, so everyone will enjoy the soup, the moringa soup in a yellow coconut, and I hope everyone will enjoy it. Secondly, I would like to highlight this bamboo. So we're gonna start the bamboo with chicken. This is traditional cooking method inspired from the hunting era, We have a tradition of Moboros where we have a group of men that had to go for hunting and bring the meat to the village. And then we're gonna cook them together and then stuff them inside the bamboo. So tonight we're gonna travel back to that time, but without hunting because the chicken is already pre-made. Normally it takes between 40 to 40 minutes, 40 to 50 minutes until it's fully cooked. So my sister has already steamed it, marinated, so it takes only 20 minutes to cook. So the water inside the bamboo will actually infuse the chicken and giving that very distinctive, unique aroma. And then we will bonfire them. So that's part of the menu today. And of course, in Bali, we have rice. Right? So we in Asia eat rice in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and in between. So we eat a lot of rice because no rice, no power. And then, I just would like to highlight the coconut oil. So my mom is still actively make coconut oil or the lengis tandusan. Yeah, it's quite a lot. So we use traditional coconut oil. And this is called bumbu Bali or basa genep. So this is the traditional Balinese mother sauce because it's made of 5 roots: the ginger, the turmeric, galangal, lesser ginger, all of the 5 roots representing the 5 directions, which is the 5 elements of the god. So we have Iswara, yellow in the east. We have white, galangal on the west, Mahadewa, Vishnu, Vishnu, Brahma, and Mahadewa. So it's not just, we believe it's not just a root, but it also has a spiritual message. So we chop them off. We add a little bit of chili, a little bit of garlic, and then a little bit of onion. So every family has it, yeah. And then we're just adding additional spicy chili if we want to have more spicy. So in the Balinese traditional house, everybody has this one. And then we have some other coconuts. So the vegetable today is mixed in vegetable. So we also do a foraging. We still forage, collecting this fern. This young fern is has a very fresh, sweet texture. So we're gonna have that tonight. So it is actually fern. And then we will add the grated coconuts and then the bumbu and everything else. So that's probably most of the live cooking. We also have tofu on the menu. Yeah, we have tofu in a curry sauce, Balinese curry sauce in a yellow sauce. We're gonna have tempeh. Tempeh is skewed with peanut sauce. Oyster sauce di apa ya? Sianggo. Okay, so I know one of you have a seafood allergy, so we decided to use no oyster sauce. That's for you, ma'am, right? So no oyster sauce tonight because we have the traditional natural boom. So that's the highlights for the dinner tonight. Perlu bantuan? Oh, my sister decided most of the prepared, but of course you can. But we would like to invite everyone. She got it covered, she said. So we, other words, we don't need your help. No, we need your help to enjoy this. Yeah. Normally we would like to include our guests to participate, to experience, just to share responsibility. You know, like just in case you don't like the food, so it's not entirely our fault. But now tonight it's entirely our fault. Okay. All right. So. Oh, by the way, this is the biggest group that we have. So, yeah, thank you so much. Normally we take 5 to 10, but terima kasih ya Pak Halim. Thank you so much. Okay, so we would like to invite everyone back to the dinner table. We have some natural tempura, natural crackers, and then we're gonna start with the soup, and then we're gonna have the dinner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Which water?
Coconut water.
Really?
Doesn't taste like coconut.
This is lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll just pour. Okay. So, and then I would like to invite everyone to enjoy the dinner, please. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you look in front of you this way, so this is a complete dark, and this is the environment what fireflies couldn't get nowadays, because in our city, our area is full of lights, full of artificial lights. So that is also the reason we close the camp, so that we can dedicate our space, our area, without any artificial light at night. And then after 9-10 o'clock, this area is also closed. We switch off the lights, and this is also the least that you can do when you return home. If you don't need your garden lights, you can switch it off or just leave at the very minimum, because you never know. There are some other nocturnal creature that may live there that is requiring a dark environment. Anyway, it also helps you to save the energy. Yeah. So Nita will lead you to the first place where we visited. Just please make a small step. You're free to take video or picture later on in the honeymoon suite, but please do not use the flash.
I can see them, look. Look.
Yeah, please come in. Yeah. Yeah, you can go in the left side or right side.
It's like magical. Never seen it before.
There's no sound.